At the end of the winterbite quest, a Vex AI created by the Ishtar team sends us a thank you message saying, "Titan contains vital information. An enemy of the witness resides there, and we need to protect it." Today we discuss the creature lurking beneath Titan's oceans, its connections to the Traveler, and our adventures to the moon of Saturn possibly next season. The winterbite quest begins when you finish the campaign. Quinn Ligari tells us the Vex came in and destroyed some of the first Cloudstrider memorials. These Cloudstriders had some of the first secrets of this city, including info on its founders like Maya Sundaresh and the AI fragment that crash landed here with the first ships. That AI is in fact SOTERIA, created and built by Maya Sundaresh from Vex technology. Last season, in Season of the Seraph, Anna Bray learned that Maya built a clairvoyant AI using Vex tech. During the Golden Age, the Echo Project was created, and this AI would launch the project early as the pyramids were on their way. Instead of making it to the Andromeda Galaxy, they would crash land on Neptune. SOTERIA, the AI, was split into pieces and trapped in the spire of the Watcher, but fragments of it were on board some of those ships. SOTERIA's fragment crash-landed on Neptune and became known as the Occlusion. Rasputin categorized the crash site as the Nephele's stronghold, and withheld this information from everybody, including leaders of the city and even our Guardian, until the end of Seraph. Maya Sundaresh's code helped shape this city and the Occlusion part of SOTERIA as well. In the winterbite quest, we restore Cloudstrider memorials, some of the first who knew of the Occlusion's history. Near the end, the Vex are trying to search for the Occlusion to rescue it in the Vex network, given it's part Vex, made from their technology. This Occlusion, though, just wants to be left alone. This fragment of the AI SOTERIA is stuck in the network and just wants to sleep. Have its freedom, doesn't want anybody to find it. Before you pick up your shiny new exotic, we get a message from the Occlusion itself.
Never thought I'd help save a Vex. Of course, I never thought I'd work with a smoking hot Earth warlord either. Interesting times. The Occlusion is still... asleep isn't the right word, but basically asleep. I think it just likes the quiet. It's buried too deep in the network to just yank out, so for now I guess we just let it sleep. I'll let Nimbus and the City Council figure out what to do.
It sent a big old compressed data package in one quick burst right before it went quiet again. Back to sleep, I guess. This was in the header. Self equals output.vex, SOTERIA, subject, paracausal hero, our Guardian, endure, gratitude. The rest of the text said, urgent, Saturn 6 contains vital information, enemy of witness on Titan. If still living, preservation paramount, do not waste time. Saturn 6 could be thought to be the sixth moon of Saturn, which would be Enceladus. That would yield some pretty interesting results with Cade's past message of something being on that icy moon, but apparently the International Astronomical Union labels Saturn 6 as Titan. So Titan contains vital information, an enemy of the witness is found here. If it's still living, the Guardian needs to preserve it. SOTERIA telling us to find it, make sure it doesn't die. At the end of the new raid, we see planets from our past we will likely head back to from Osiris's words. So, what's so important on Titan?
We must begin our search in the pieces it has left behind. It will not succeed for as long as we remain in existence.
The first and most exciting theory is a Leviathan. Remember the giant creature swimming around in the oceans of Titan? Is it possible that this thing is the enemy of the witness? It never seemed to cause us harm as far as we knew back then in Destiny 2's vanilla campaign, and there were many theories back in the day. It's a giant hive worm. It's Oryx's worm after he fell from the dreadnought. We never got an answer until now, possibly. Now, we aren't talking about Callus's ship, the Leviathan, but rather the creature who was allied or friends with the Traveler found in the Books of Sorrow. For millions of years, the Leviathan caged us here. It is a pawn of the sky, a philosophy of cosmic slavery. The sky seeds civilizations predicated on a terrible lie. that right actions can prevent suffering, that pockets of artificial rules can defy the final, beautiful logic. So the Leviathan was said to be a pawn of the sky. It helped the traveler trap the worm gods below Fundament. In lore from Witch Queen last year, we know the Leviathan met Ralk at one point. When Ralk went to Fundament to recruit the worm gods to join the Witness and Darkness, he would also find this creature on his way down, the Leviathan guarding their prison deep below Fundament. Ralk did not listen to the Leviathan's warnings. Instead, he ripped out a bone from its ribcage, and this same bone can be seen in the Vow of the Disciple Totem's encounter. Later, after Ralk, in the Books of Sorrow, when Oryx, Savathun, and Xivu dove into the deep of Fundament to find the worm gods and try and save their species, they encountered the Leviathan as well. This wise being of light told them to turn back. You must turn back. Save yourselves from the deep. Save the world from yourselves. You must turn back. The siblings, like Ralk, didn't listen. They were tricked by the Witness and went down to find the worms and take them for their species, becoming the Hive. The Leviathan, now hopeless, had no choice but to flee Fundament. It took up shelter with an alien civilization called the Ammonites. Find détente with Savathun, crush the Chroma Admiral, boil the Ammonite seas, and slaughter the Leviathan with witchcraft. The Ammonites were destroyed by the Hive, and the Leviathan along with it. Its body fed to the worm gods the Hive now worshipped. But one of those lines was of interest: slaughter with witchcraft. In my opinion, this would mean Savathun was in charge of killing this creature. If that's the case, here's where the fun theories begin to emerge. Did Savathun somehow preserve parts of the Leviathan? Did this one survive, or do others exist? When Destiny 2 released, Savathun made her presence known where? On Saturn's moon Titan, fueling rituals to summon her with Savathun's song and her forces trampling around the arcology. Not too long after, we would find a giant creature swimming in the waters deep below the surface and spotted it on top as well. Again, we don't have answers. Was this just a worm? Are these two creatures different, the one seen on top and down below in the deep? Maybe this is just some type of fauna home to this moon itself. Bungie may not have had this plan back then, but it doesn't mean it can't happen now. The same creature is seen in Savathun's throne world in the swamps. The Lightfall Collector's Edition books, the Cabal one specifically about Keitel, also spoke of worm gods being created in the depths of gas giants. Why do you steal her away from me and send her to die in some crushing chasm of a gas giant, shattered by Sindhu missiles, compressed by the depths, by the deep where the worms lurk? Isn't that what you say, Umoon? In the heart of every gas giant there is an abomination waiting to hatch. So why have you convinced my own daughter, my own flesh? Everyone is absolutely silent, absolutely still. To go play in the grave womb of the worms instead of being happy here on the homeworld in Tor Battle, where she could share my joy. So this makes you wonder, is a worm or Leviathan in the oceans of Titan? A worm god could make sense. Are the Leviathans and worms maybe one and the same, even tied to Ahamkara? What if the original Leviathan was a worm god but allied with the Sky and Traveler instead?
Expedition rovers, Braytech employees. Many were sacrificed to the study of this ravine. Not that Clovis Bray cared. Braytech researchers dropped a camera down there once. You wouldn't believe what they saw swimming around in the dark.
This system used to detect underwater vessels looking to dock here at the shipyard. That's strange. It still works, and it's picking something up. Something below us, and very, very big.
Whatever it is, Leviathan, Worm God, something else, it's an enemy of the Witness, and we'll possibly find it on Titan starting next season in Season of the Deep. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Let me know your thoughts and theories about what the enemy on Titan is in the comments down below, and I thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.